So hello and welcome back to today's tutorial. In our tutorial today, I want us to look at something in Excel, and this one is about naming or what we call the cell referencing or how do you name a cell in Excel. This video is good for learners in grade 6 doing CBC, and also for high school students, those in Form 2, Form 3 and Form 4. And even it's good for those people who uses Excel or those who have interest in knowing the Excel, on how you use the Excel spreadsheet. So without wasting your time, we are going to open Excel. So this is our Excel, and when we talk about cell referencing or naming a cell, so this is how you name a certain cell in our Excel worksheet. So this is what we call a cell. So this rectangular box, or where the column and the row meet. So this is what we call a cell. So for you to be able to know the name of the cell, we have this part here called the name box. So this one will give the name of the active selected cell. So when you click here, you see it changes to B4 because we are on column B and we are on row B. So we start with cell referencing, and we have three types of cell referencing. Number one, we have what we call the relative cell referencing. Then we have what we call the absolute cell referencing. Then we have the third one called the mixed cell referencing. So all these are different in the way they are used, and for you to be able to understand, we can do some calculation here. So you're going to enter some values here, and then you're going to do calculation. So you can just add this one, and then you just say okay. So you can add some other value there, and then you can also come down here and add some values here. So you'll find that with relative cell referencing, when you copy a formula, it automatically adjusts to fit the cell where you have copied, or the row where you have copied. For example, when you copy this one, it automatically reflects what is in that row. Even if you have to copy the formula here down, you'll find that it is reflecting what you have in the corresponding row. The same case here. So that is what you call a relative cell referencing, meaning that once you copy a formula, it is able to adjust to its new location. So this one can be able to adjust to new row location. So when it comes to absolute, so for you to create an absolute formula, you have to start with a $sign before the column and before the row, and you do the same for all of this. So you start the column and the row with a $sign that way, and then if you copy this formula, you'll find that the formula does not adjust with what you have on the new location. For example, this one, it remains to 100, and this one remains to 100, and this one, even where you don't have values, it remains to 100. So that is one difference, or the difference between a relative cell referencing and absolute cell referencing. So the first one will be able to adjust to the new location, while the second one will not be able. Then we have the mixed cell referencing, and this one, so this one is when maybe the column has a dollar sign is absolute, but the row is not absolute, or the column is relative, but the column is absolute. So one of these is absolute while the other one is relative. Okay, so this one should be, we said use a dollar sign. Okay, so if you copy this one, it might not change, because you see there's a mistake, because it is looking, and this one is getting confused. So we have said the mixed is where either the cell or either the column or the row is absolute while the other one is relative. Another thing that you should know is that you can be able to refer to a certain cell from this worksheet to another worksheet, assuming that you have this one. So if you want to refer to this value in this worksheet, you just come here and then you say equals, okay, and then you click where you have your value. Okay, you find that it automatically, and this is how you refer. So the name of the worksheet and the cell where you are getting the value. So if you change this one, for example, we make it, so this one is D4, not 1. See, it was supposed to be D4. So if you come here and maybe you change this one to 100, so this one comes to 180, you'll find that it automatically changes. Then the last thing that you can be able, when you are referring to a cell, or you can be able to identify a cell, or you can be able to work the cell. For example, if you have another workbook in your computer, so if you have another workbook in your computer, you can be able to refer data from one workbook to another. For example, here you can come and say equals, and then you open our book 1, and then you say equals this one, and then you enter. Once you enter, you'll find that this value from the book 1 will be displayed in book 2. Maybe the only problem with this one is that if you happen to delete the first workbook, or you happen to change the location of that workbook, there will be an error in your second workbook. That is enough for today. Remember to follow, like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you for your time.